Everybody doing? This is Jeff with One Uprise, where we are talking about a marketing revolution and life solutions. So, last vid, we talked about the what. We talked about goal cards and what it is that you really want. This vid, we are going to talk about the why. Okay, the why also being critical to know in the beginning when you're setting out on your path to realize what it is that you really want. Why facilitates the what. There is a very interesting, a very good book. Don't want to get this guy's name wrong. I think it's first name Simon for sure. I think the last name Sinek, Sinek, I believe. Name of the book is Start with Why. So hope I'm not getting his name wrong. Sorry, Mr. Simon, if I'm getting your name wrong. I read your book like 2 or 3 times. Great book. And I highly recommend it. And there's a few different ways of looking at why. In this book, Start With Why, he talks about essentially what I think a company would call their mission statement. And it's been a couple of years, in fact, since I read this book. But I did read it 2 or 3 times, and I can certainly share the main concepts. So why is going to be, the reason why you do what you do, to create a better world, to realize freedom, to solve a problem. These are very big ideas. And so when you have the why, oftentimes when you're setting out on your path and before you is a task, maybe something that looks too complicated, something that is giving you doubts, don't look at that complication. Don't look at that seemingly over complex task. Look at it as simply a stepping stone to realize your why. So you're always seeing your why. And this can really sort of pave the way to being able to do things much easier. I mean, how many times have you been in a situation where, things, you're asking yourself, how am I going to do this? It's too much. And you think of a loved one or whatever it is that comes into your mind that all of a sudden things click and I can do it for this reason. The difficult becomes simple when you have a very meaningful why. So this idea of why is sort of having one overall arching why that really pulls you, that really drives you, okay? It gets you moving one way or the other in the right direction. So there's another way of looking at why, and it's called stacking your whys. This idea is essentially saying that you have micro whys. There's a myriad of reasons why you do the many different things that you do. And I found this to be a very, very effective method for myself. Because why I do one thing might be a little bit different than why I do another, or why I am doing these videos, why I have started an online business. There might be a lot of whys. I do it for freedom. I do it for freedom being having time to do what I please. That has a lot to do with finances. So I do it for monetary reasons. I do it for the sense of accomplishment. I do it to help to give beneficial knowledge because I can get a lot of knowledge, but if it's not benefiting anybody else, it's really just selfish knowledge. And that's not knowledge that contributes to growth and contribute to building, but selfish things are self-destructive. So it's not in line with a very profound law of growth and realization and accomplishment, and creating more for more people, not creating more for less people, just me, right? No. So stacking your whys can be very, very effective. In fact, on the wall of my office, I have a bunch of pieces of paper all put together, and it's line by line, all the different reasons why, and these just came as I sat down and thought, I want to see what happens if I do this. Which, by the way, was what this whole channel is about. I really want to see what happens when I do this. And maybe I'll make a video here coming up as to what my thought process was when I set out on this path to learn these things about success ideas, self-help, self-growth. A lot of it has a borderline mystical sense to it. Some of it sounds quite hokey, starting off with. But still, it was certainly interesting enough, and the concepts I found to resonate with me in a way that, if I'm being honest, yes, I do want to know what that means, and I do want to know the reality of this. I do want to be able to reflect on this idea and see if, in fact, it does have such a profound impact on my life as it's said to have. So, this whole channel really is about a test. Like, let's test this stuff out together, right? But now back to the subject, why. So we're talking about stacking whys. It's a very effective tool. When I say effective, I mean when I do it, I notice how my thinking works. Oh, it goes from, oh geez, I don't know if I can do this, to remember my whys. I've got plenty of reasons to do this. I can do this. So it's a transformation of attitude. I might have said this before already in one of the videos, and it'll probably be something that I repeat time and again. I believe it's pilots. What I almost said aeronautical. I don't know what it's called, but when you're learning to fly a plane, one of the things that you learn is the direction of your craft is called the attitude of your craft. Good or bad, the direction you're going, oftentimes to say it's all based on attitude. So having those whys, the big why, the mission why, the micro whys, all the reasons why you do things, can really keep you pointed in the right direction and keep your mind on straight, right? Your head on straight, keep you thinking right, keep you thinking and developing thoughts in the right direction on a consistent basis. So the why, if it's a real meaningful why, a why that you believe in, it's going to be bigger than any sort of why you can't do something, okay? And the why you can't do something is really based off old conditioning, and you'll hear me talk about this a lot. It's based off old conditioning. It's not based off of your potential. It's not based off of who you really are and who you see yourself as. And inside, that if it weren't for anything else, those anything else again is that's just old conditioning. You could realize this. Well, I'm here to tell you you can realize this. I'm here to tell you, find out. All right, put these things to work in your life. Stick with them for a duration that will allow you to definitively say, I know about this. I know if this works, and I can tell you what works and what does not work. Okay, so why is critical. And I'm 8 minutes 30 seconds. I want to keep these videos short. So one other thing I want to say about why, and forgive me for this, but I am going to tell you why you do anything you do, and I still want you to make your list. Read Simon Sinek's book, Starting with Why. It's a great book. Find a lot of those different kinds of books and check them out for yourself. And I'm happy to tell you about them as well, and impart to you what I got from them. But having said that, why does anybody do what they do? I think there's a very, very big, very deep, profound reason as to why, and it's to know yourself. Anything that you do is really a channel to realize who you really are, right? You're not going to get gratification, satisfaction out of anything if you're not able to do it in a genuine manner, all right? If it doesn't fit you, if it doesn't resonate with you, if it doesn't make you realize something of your nature more and more and more, so you're realizing more and more and more and more of who you really are. So this is a path of knowledge of self, okay? which is a topic that it quite possibly could be at the core of this entire channel, could be at the core of well, why I am doing what I'm doing now. Okay. Again, we're talking about potential here. We're not talking about old paradigms that we've been educated to accept. We've been subjected to. In fact, we're talking about knowing yourself in the grandest sense. All right. And so when you hear the term "anything is possible," that there is a reality that consists of infinite possibilities, all of which could potentially be realized by you, and you have this amazingly powerful thing called the power of choice to select one of those potential realities and to then live into it, to realize it. This is a becoming process, right? To allow yourself to become this person, all right? To the degree that this is me, this is who I am, this is me being myself. So I had a very interesting a very interesting conversation with a friend of mine the other night when we talk a lot about these concepts, and he was asking me, Jeff, what makes you happy? What makes you happy? What makes you happy? And he asked me in a very effective way because he got this answer out of me. And when I was able to give him this answer, I was really able to go on and on and on and on with this, just like you're able to go on and on and on about saying, what your surroundings look like. Oh, there's a window, there's a closet, there's a wall, there's a door, and you can go on and on and on and on. I can talk about the details of that window more and more and more, but that's the outside, right? Self is a lot about what's inside as well, in a much more deeper, profound, meaningful way. This is where our heart is. This is where the core of things are. So when I talk about knowledge of self being at the core of it, I'm talking about matters of the heart, right? So this path, even though we're talking about starting an online business and concepts like marketing, and I'll be saying this time and again too, marketing used to be propaganda, right? Before it became marketing that we know as a popular term now, it was propaganda. Okay, so there's going to be somebody marketing to us. It might as well be ourselves, and we might as well be conscious of what we're doing, and we might as well use it as a channel to allow people more freedom to know more about themselves and really have the tools and the skills to develop their own agenda, all right, to live their own lives, to be free to do that, all right. So that's what that's one of the reasons why I named this channel One Uprise, because it's rising above these old paradigms, okay, and allowing to see your life in a new light, in a different fashion. So I'm about to put an end to this video because I when I'm on YouTube, I just want people to get to the point. Like say what it is that you're trying to say. That's why I'm watching this video, right? So find out what your why is, all right? Take some time, just like you took some time to do your goal card. If you watched the last video about your goal card, I recommend going back and checking out that video. I said, take an hour or two is good. If you could take a day, that's even better. But for me personally, finding out my why was a lot easier than answering the question of what do I really want. When I developed when I started stacking my whys, they just really came out. I was able to rattle them off. And now when I look at my wall, I got a mass of whys, and it's like, wow, that's big. I've got plenty of reasons to do what I'm doing. So it's very good that way. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. Remember to click all the right buttons. Click the like button. Please leave comments. Tell me what you think about these ideas. Let's get a dialogue going. Click the subscribe button. Click the bell icon so you're notified of future videos. I'll keep dropping links if you're interested in getting started in your online business now and you want some good products. Go down there, click on those links, check it out, okay? And until next time, thank you.